guys in one cup. We have your usual hosts. We got over here across the table
P Fitty.
P Fitty. You would be.
Shut
You
the
would.
fuck up. Go, go, go.
And
Okay.
your other host here, Johnson and Johnson.
A family company.
Lube.
What? All right. Since we've got a
Yeah, we kind
big
of stretched
strike.
this one a little too long. Things happening.
Life happens.
Yeah,
Life.
yeah, life happens. You're right, absolutely.
All right.
But yeah, we have plenty to cover.
So
So
starting with the week of the 15th, right? You said?
Sunday, September 15th.
Right. It was the North London Derby. Two shit teams going against each other. And to be honest, I will say this though: Arsenal without Martin Odegaard did not look. First of all, they've never looked threatening, but I would say that they looked
Fragile.
fragile. Is one key term, but they also looked like without any ideas. Like they had no clue where to go, what to do, and both teams were literally equal. No one team was better than the other. I will say that Tottenham's opportunities were fluffed. They did not, they didn't take advantage of the situation. But and Arsenal, they got lucky with, well, not lucky, but
They got lucky because it was a corner.
yeah, but I wouldn't call it luck, right? Because they so far this season, I think they're like in every game they've scored one goal from a corner. So they're
Yeah.
4 for 4 or whatever. You know what I mean?
So look, I don't disagree with you. They were equal. But Tottenham did not take advantage of the fact that they were missing key players, and this could have been a perfect time for Ange Postecoglou actually deliver something for us.
Right.
With Odebert should have started to begin with. That's
Right.
what I had told you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because as soon as he came in,
Yeah.
he
Like the whole
provided a
dynamic
different
changed.
dynamic. Yeah. Um, it's frustrating to see that we bought a striker, but we still don't know how to play with him.
Who?
Dom
Dom Torreira.
Solanke.
Oh, Dominic Solanke. Right. Right. Right.
Dom Solanke.
Yeah.
He's. I guess he's still finding his feet at the team, but the way the style of the team they're playing too much through the sides and not providing the proper services. It just seems like a team that got used to playing without a striker.
Right.
That's what it literally looks like.
Right.
Yes, Tottenham had the possession of most of the game, but it doesn't matter if you don't create, and we got punished.
I agree.
And that's as simple as it gets.
The match that was after that, Wolves Newcastle, that one was it was a decent game. Newcastle, I think, they're not a threat, I would say, but I will say that their play style is very consistent, but it's also average because they can play really good but lose the game, or they can play really good and win the game. And it doesn't matter who they're playing. They
So
can
it's a
play,
coin toss, basically.
yeah. And I think in general that's just how Eddie Howe is, because even in his days when he was with the Cherries, uh, it was the same. Like they would play amazing football, they would lose, but in some days he would have those like incredible games.
Do you think it's because of lack of talent?
I would say like a talent. I would say that he is forced to use or to own that he can only spend a certain amount of money, and he relies a lot on players that have been in the team for far too long. Like there's like about two, three players, at least in the midfield, that I would say that need to get replaced by someone either younger or higher quality. Now that Newcastle are in the Champions League, maybe they can attract, you know, some better players. But I think with having like an actual number 10 with Isaac in front, because he's fast, he has good movement on and off the ball,
Yeah, he
really
does.
good control, and he can shoot from pretty much anywhere. So I think just having somebody who can actually help him, you know, get that space, create that vision, I think that they would really be a threat, like a real threat, a real threat.
Well, I keep hearing rumors. I don't know if you come across those. I keep hearing rumors about there's more pressure for Eddie Howe
Right.
lately,
Mm-hmm.
and that it seems like that half the board wants him, the other half doesn't want him anymore. I don't know how true that is. I do think that he's a good uh, coach.
Coach. Yeah.
I just think that I feel that they haven't backed him the way he should be backed with the caliber of ownership that they have now.
Well, I don't think that's true what you said about the whole 50-50 split
Again,
because
it's just rumors. So
I know that that Newcastle are selling. They are in they're up for sale. So I don't.
completely,
Yeah.
completely, or just kind of like what Man United did, that they sold
No, no, no,
a
no,
slight
no,
majority.
no. Man United do that because the Glazers are a bunch of thieves. No, nobody else does that but United.
I know they owe a lot of money, so
Yeah, but
they probably do that too because of that.
Newcastle
But
doesn't owe money.
no, no, I'm talking about United.
Oh yeah.
But
No, no, no. The I think partial owners of Newcastle are like Oilers,
yeah,
and the other part I think they're Brits. I really don't know.
I'm assuming that the Oilers, they just came in. So
No, they came in like 5 years ago. Hmm.
it hasn't been 5 years
Yeah,
already.
man. Time flies.
Oh wow.
And I think they like they see that they're not gonna get, I would say, their money back, or like at least a return on their investment,
Yeah,
right? So, but yeah, they also want to get rid of the like this chairwoman. I forget her name.
she's trying to buy into Tottenham.
Well, good luck with that, brother.
Uh,
Um,
I know who you're talking about, and yep, I
but
don't want her near the club. But Daniel Levy.
dude, he's a scumbag though. I saw that message. Like it was an interview where like he got asked like what he thinks of the criticism of the fans right against him for not
Yeah,
delivering trophies or whatever. And I can't remember the exact word for word, but it was something around the thing of like he for he ignores essentially like the loud noises and just remembers that he's been winning and something like that. And when I saw that, I was like, winning what?
well, he's just thinking about money. That's all he's thinking about because technically, Tottenham is in the top five, quote unquote, best ran football clubs financially.
Financially.
Financially, but it is a disgrace to hear that because we've been demanding trophies for a very long time. Granted, the Tottenham fan base is not as aggressive as other teams,
Mm-hmm.
but it's disgraceful.
Right, 100%. I agree with you. Tottenham is disgraceful. Um,
No, that's not what
so
I said.
moving on to
Hey,
a
that's
few
not what
days
I said.
later, right. Sure. uh, moving on to the next few games. It was Tuesday the 17th.
With Champions League football, new format,
What do you think of the new format? Honestly,
it, honestly, it feels odd. It really feels odd.
but do you think it's because you're so used to the other, or you just don't like this new format?
It's look, when they remove, it was already hard enough, at least for me, when they removed
Because you're a Tottenham fan,
the
I understand.
visitors goal.
Right,
When they removed that, I felt like they removed the essence of the game.
right.
You know?
Because it's that shit. We're down. Maybe it may be 3-3, right,
Yeah.
globally, but because they scored an extra away goal, we have to try harder and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
And
So
now it's like, oh wait, it's 3-3. We can just hold back.
exactly. So I feel like they removed an essence of the Champions League, and I'm like, fine, whatever. We can't do anything about it.
Right.
That's what happened. Now they made this new format, and now The way I feel, it's like I'm not interested in the games as much.
Oh yeah, I am 100% with you.
I'm more like I'll wait until they're done with these first games before you have the
Before I even
playoffs,
invest.
or yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
that's how I feel. So I'm not on board with this new format. Um, what about you?
So I am 100% against it for many reasons. Because one, they were uh, they were so against the Super League, right?
Yes.
They were so against the Super League, and so they they add this Super League style, right,
Yeah.
to the game now. They add more games to already a very long calendar, right? You know that old saying, right? You either how does it go? Like you either like live long enough to be the hero, or
No, you live.
what is it? Like basically, it's like
Yeah, I think I know what you're trying to say, but
right.
I
It's
can't
like
think of the actual phrase. But
right. It's like you
you see
either
yourself live long enough a
to be the
hero that
hero,
you,
or long enough like to be a villain or something like that, right?
yeah.
But and that's kind of what they did, right? Uh, that's kind of what they did. They were like everyone was like so like in favor of them when they fought back against the Super League, right?
Yeah.
Against the evil monarchy of Real Madrid, and everyone like was in favor, right? Oh, like you can did a good job, right? And then they pull this shit off, and it's like, bruh,
Yeah.
like what are you doing? And even the players have complained. Players are talking about going on strike uh
They've added more games.
because they added more games, not only club right at club level, but also at the national level.
Yeah.
And I get it, money talks, money makes the world go around. But the only thing they are promoting is literal.
Injuries.
Yes, and we've seen it. We were talking about, I think, before we had started this, like a few years ago, how there's a lot more injuries now because the players are playing so many more games, and it's not like they're going, an hour away.
Yeah.
They are going hours away and playing all over the world. And then in the EPL, they're talking about bringing uh of adding like 5 games to the calendar and bringing 5 of them over here to the US. Like, what are you doing? Like, it is called the English Premier League for a reason because it is in England. It is not an American league.
I think the fact that they've already let so many American investors in, it's what's causing this. There's too many American investors. You see it. There's investors in Arsenal. There's investors in Liverpool. There's investors in
Chelsea.
Chelsea. New
Half,
ownership in Chelsea.
I think half of them are Americans.
So there's a lot of influence, and then with the fact that you have the NFL coming over to England to have games over here, they want to replicate something extra like that.
Yeah,
And I understand the viewership that you're trying to, but it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous because they're messing with the product that was never broken.
yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, like why even mess with the formula?
Yeah,
But we digress. But moving on to the games,
we had Juve win 3-1 against
they won against PSV.
PSV.
Yeah, I kind of got glimpses of that game because I'm with you there. Like, there were so many games, and it was like, which one do I even watch, right? Because some of them could be boring. Like, even if it's like two big clubs, it could
Yeah,
still get boring, right? I caught a little bit of the Milan Liverpool game, and it was about exciting for maybe about the first half. And then I caught the Bayern versus Dinamo Zagreb game, and I will say this
that
though.
was a massacre.
That one, uh, I had to give props, right, to the main man himself, and I'm not talking about your boy Harry Kane.
No, you're
Um,
talking about Vincent Company.
exactly, because it's the same team
Yeah,
with Thomas Tuchel, right? Only difference is that Thomas Tuchel, he let it be known, like, I do not like you. I do
yeah,
not like how you play, so you will not be playing. Period. Right? Which I think is the downfall of a lot of coaches, not just Thomas Tuchel, because player chemistry and player their mental is what can shape your career.
Yeah, but then we've said this many times. They're not making them the same way.
Exactly. No, no,
Like if
but that's why. But that's what I'm
before is
saying.
if you heard I don't like you, players before would take it as a
But yeah,
challenge,
but again,
you know. But yeah, yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. So now you have to sort of watch what you say, right? It's like you're walking on eggshells.
yeah.
Um, but what I will say though is that I do appreciate Vincent Company taking everybody in and being, hey,
This
you
is
might
what we got.
stay,
Yeah,
yeah, you might stay, you might go. I don't know, but I want to work with you if you're willing to work with me. And he's proved it in like the training, videos that have come out where um they're making silly games of training, right?
yeah.
Where you can tell it's a lot more light-hearted. It's not taken as serious. Maybe that's
It's
the new style of coaching.
it's an interesting approach. We discussed further back a clip where he came out where he's ripping a new one to one
Right.
of his Burnley players at the time.
Because I think that goes into in I think that's just like in any professional aspect.
Yeah,
It's kind of like that, there's a certain place and time for fun and games, and there's a certain point in time where you're like, hey, like take this shit seriously, bro.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So I think that's what it is, right? And knowing how he can switch off and be like, okay, it's fun and games, but then he can like turn around and be like, yo, if I tell you to fucking run 25, 30 yards, you're gonna fucking run 25, 30 yards.
absolutely.
And I think that's what is worked for him, because you can tell the dynamic. I mean, just by watching him play, you can tell that it's different now.
Okay.
It is different.
So by the way, the game ended Bayern Munich 9, Dynamo Zagreb 2.
Yeah, it was a thrashing, but it was like overall, it was a good game. Like you saw, in like everyone was touching the ball, everyone was moving, everyone was defending, everyone was attacking. It was a good game. They just had good chemistry. Period. It was a
Nice.
very good game for them. The Madrid game, honestly, I would say they got pretty lucky.
They have been looking lucky overall.
They got pretty lucky. I will say, I think Mbappe has the nerves, right? The money nerves.
Yeah.
Even though he was a free transfer, I think he has the nerves of, hey, I am playing for a team that literally has everyone's eyes on, and or whose eyes are on, right? And yeah, and like one mistake and I can, like, my career can end, kind of
Yeah.
thing. You know what I mean?
Well, it's kind of like I told you. I feel like there's going to be some sacrifices made for this team to actually continue to function because they had gotten a really great rhythm without him.
Yeah,
Madrid proved they don't need Mbappe.
yeah,
So I understand there's extra pressure because of that.
right.
And
Because they won the Champions League without him, and they won La Liga without him.
so it was clear, and even the fans were saying we don't need him.
Yeah,
Of course, they're happy to have him. Who wouldn't be happy? It's just it was clear from the beginning they don't need him, and you can see kind of why it's becoming. He's become an issue. It could be the pressure. It could be the functionality of the team. It. You don't see a solid Madrid right now.
yeah. You don't. They look pretty shaky.
They
Um,
won 3-1 versus Stuttgart.
but again, I saw most of the game, and Stuttgart, when the game, I think it was 1-1 for most of the time. Um, Stuttgart looked threatening. Every time they would attack, they look very, very threatening. It's just that they came up short, and you could tell the frustration in the coach, because it was like we're there,
Yeah,
but we just need that extra little, just
like
God,
one more
fucking
player,
go
like
for it,
just
yeah,
yeah,
kind of thing. But yeah, and then honestly, I was surprised Villa won against Young Boys in their Champions League return after I don't know how many years.
yeah.
But
You were
yeah,
surprised on that one?
yes,
I actually expected them to win.
I didn't expect him to lose, but I didn't expect him to dominate
Gotcha.
because I didn't catch that game. I saw the highlights, and I just didn't expect him to be so controlling, especially away from home,
Yeah.
to control the game. And then they're playing on a turf. They weren't playing on.
On regular
Yeah, they're
regular
playing
grass.
on freaking artificial.
Yeah.
So it's not easy, especially if you've never trained and if you've never played on artificial. When you're playing on natural grass, the ball bounces, the rhythm of the ball,
Oh,
the speed
it's
of the
completely
ball.
different. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Even the way you get to run on it, it's different.
and then even more when it's wet,
Yeah.
it's a whole different ballpark, you know. So
So they won. Ashton Villa won 3. Young Boy 0. Then there was Sporting 2.
Lille
Lille
zero.
0.
I didn't catch that one because I thought it was gonna be a boring game, and honestly, I don't know, I'm probably right. And then the EFL, quick little touch on that. Uh, the only thing I would say is the only surprise, actually. Well, there was two surprises because the Everton Southampton game that one ended with Southampton winning. It went to penalties, but in typical Everton fashion, they were winning. I believe the whole, not the whole game. They were dominating. I would say the whole game, and they just couldn't get over the line. They go to penalties, and I believe it was like three players or two players that got very lucky on the penalties, and it went in. But in what I think is a very rare sighting, Ashley Young missed the last penalty.
Really?
Yeah, which was very very weird. So yeah, so the Preston Fulham game, that one was really it was really surprising. I actually watched that game because I was just very curious to see how that game would end, and it was actually really really interesting. I was surprised. Fulham had it to win it, and they actually missed. I believe it was two or three penalties. Two penalties, and it went up to 16. Yeah, that's how that game went.
That was a long game.
Yeah. Moving on to Wednesdays of the 18th of September.
Yeah.
That one again, it had like a big mixed match of very boring games in the Champions League and some games that you would think would be like a thriller,
Yeah.
but were dead.
What surprised me of this in particular is that Man City Inter ending in 0-0.
I caught that game. It was it was a stale game. It wasn't even entertaining. Um, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I think it just looked like an average game.
Really?
Yeah.
So far it was Bologna versus Shakhtar 0-0. Sparta Prague versus Salzburg. Sparta won 3-0. Celtic 5. Slovan
Bratislava.
Bratislava 1. Club Brugge 0. Borussia Dortmund 3. Man City Inter 0-0. And PSG 1. Girona 0.
Which
I
I
feel
thought
like
was crazy.
that might have been a decent game.
Probably most likely. And to be honest, PSG are actually doing really good without Mbappe.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah, that's
actually-
what you were mentioning last time.
Yeah, they're a lot more successful without Mbappe. Now, moving on to the big blunder, I would say.
The big blunder.
Yeah, I'd say is the Carabao Cup game between Coventry City and Tottenham. That was a very close game.
It was. It was
For
too
Tottenham?
close. Too close of a game.
Your
comfort.
boy got injured, right? Baloney or what's his name? He came. Oderbert. He got injured, I think, but I think he was. It was just like a light,
Yeah, it was.
like
It
a
was
light
something
injury or
like.
something. Like that.
Again, I keep repeating myself when it comes to these games. I keep repeating the frustration and all that stuff. And I'm not gonna bore anybody with this. Um, luckily the team came through. The only thing I'm going to highlight from this game is that it's upsetting to see that you win this game in the last minute when you should have smashed the team from the get go.
Right. Because both goals were scored in the last 4 minutes of the game.
Yes.
Which one, good for Tottenham, right? For coming on top, for like pushing. Bad on Coventry for not being
Following
able
through.
to close, right? And yeah, I mean Tottenham looked weaker, slower, and dumber than when they played Arsenal.
There was a lot of criticism for Johnson
Before, right?
Yeah, to the point that he had to deactivate his social accounts.
Yeah, his social media account.
Yeah. He ended up scoring the winning goal in this game, and I hate the fact that people were celebrating that.
Well,
I'll give him this, and I'm going to get a little bit ahead of myself. From the criticism, he's played 3 games, and in these 3 games, he scored.
Right? Yeah.
But it doesn't prove anything yet. That's all I'm going to say about that.
All right. Well, I mean,
then you said Brighton versus Wolves, which Brighton took it 3-2.
Oh yeah, that one was a good game.
That was a really good game.
That was a really good game, actually. I thought Wolves was gonna take it.
Yeah.
Right, but I mean, I don't know. It was literally a box to box game. Nice. I thought it was gonna be like penalties.
Yeah.
Because Wolves ended up scoring in the last minute.
But it got disallowed, right? Or
no.
What game was it that they got disallowed?
I don't remember. I don't know.
Maybe.
But so the game was 2-1. Brighton ended up scoring in the 85th minute, 3-1. And then Wolverhampton ended up scoring in the 90th minute. It was 3-2. And I believe they added like 6 or 7 minutes. And those 7 minutes were super entertaining. They were really, really fun. It was like a classic Premier League game. It was so good. I was freaking smiling. I was enjoying that game. But in the end, Brighton took it. Whoever they play against, I don't know if it's out already or not. But if they play at that same momentum, they can maybe win the Carabao Cup. If they play with that same momentum, that same mentality, because anything can happen in the Carabao Cup. Anything can happen. So, I mean, honestly, if they face Tottenham, that's going to be great. That's going to be a great game for Brighton, obviously. Moving on to Thursday, and it's weird saying this. Thursday Champions League.
Yes. Thank you. I thought I was going crazy when I saw this.
Yeah, and me too. Like, I saw it on the calendar, and I was like, Champions League on a Thursday?
Like, please comment. Comment. How do you feel about this format? Comment. How do you feel about seeing games on Thursday?
Like, I mean, that was part of the... You do see games Thursday. It was Europa League.
Yes, but that was part of the banter, too.
Yeah.
Like, we played Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Well, it was more so like Tottenham because they've never won a Champions League and I can't get it. But yeah.
Shut up.
Anyways, but I get what you're saying. Like the banter, like, oh, so and so, is Champions League, and here is whatever, whoever fans watching their team play on Thursday night or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because Champions League is obviously a bigger price than winning the Europa. Right? Yeah, than winning the Europa.
Yeah.
So, of course, that was part of the banter. But now it's like everybody plays on Thursdays. Okay. Another thing that they take away from us.
Right. Starting off with the first game of the day, that was Feyenoord, which was last season's, 2 seasons ago, champions of the Dutch league, against Bayer Leverkusen, the current German team.
Mm-hmm.
Current German champion. I'm sorry. I thought I saw parts of that game too. Actually, no, I saw that game. I thought it was gonna be a lot more entertaining. It was good. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't think it was gonna be so
one-sided.
Yeah. So kind of disappointed. But I mean, Feyenoord have a new coach.
They do. So they have a new coach.
So they're still working on it. I kind of get it. I didn't see the Red Star Belgrade versus Benfica because again I thought
Benfica took it 2-1.
Boring game. Bayer Leverkusen ended up winning 4-0, by the way. The
Then you
next
had
game
Atalanta versus
I
Arsenal.
saw about 80 minutes of it because I thought it was going to be a great back to back, right?
Yeah.
Because
Atalanta has been a threatening team for a while.
because in case you don't because Bergamo, which is Atalanta, it's where they are from. Um, I thought they were going to be like, I don't know, super threatening, and they kind of were, but not really. Not
Not what they've been displaying in the last few
yeah,
seasons.
like not really. So
But it also shows you a little bit more about Arsenal, about where they're actually at.
I don't think it showed like the full picture.
I just think that this game, if they were serious title contenders, it would have been a game they should have won.
Oh yes, okay,
That's the way I
I
see it.
agree. I agree with
So
that.
that's where I say this is kind of little telling of what this Arsenal is going to display further
Right.
down the season.
And then so that game ended in a draw, 0-0. Um, Atletico Madrid versus Red Bull Leipzig. That one was a closer game. It was a slower game. I think Red Bull Leipzig should have taken that game, but Atletico came out on top, which I was actually surprised. But I mean, good for Cholo,
Oh yeah,
Good for Cholo. He's working with a very what's the word? Not restricted, but with a very
modest budget.
and like squad,
Yeah,
So, and then Brest versus Sturm.
Sturmgras.
Yeah, and don't know who they are. Do you know they existed? That one was 2-1. Brest is from France. If anybody doesn't know that.
Then you had Monaco versus Barcelona.
Versus Barcelona, which is crazy because I thought it was gonna be the way that Madrid have been playing. Not Madrid, sorry, Barcelona have been playing. I thought it was gonna be a freaking goal galore for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 6-0, 7-0, because they've been playing really well. But I will say this though, they did get a red card in the first 10 minutes of the game,
Mm-hmm.
and I will say this, and we've seen it many of times from many different players from many different teams. It's the beginning of the game, man. Just let him through. Why are you gonna pull him down when you know he's gonna go one v one versus your keeper? Just let him score. I'm not saying like here, walk right through
So
me.
you're saying let the coin flip fall.
Yes, because now the only thing you're doing is now you're putting your team.
In a predicament.
Yeah, and it's like crap. Now we have to take out an attacker, and now all we have to do is counter and counter and counter. And nowadays it's a little bit more balanced. More teams counter attack, but some coaches still have like that stubborn coaching mentality where it's like, oh, we're down a man, we're just gonna defend. We're
Yeah.
just gonna defend. We're just gonna defend. And if it works, right? Why mess with the formula? Like we said earlier today. But I don't know. If you get sent off in the first, I would say 20 minutes of the game, you should be fucking punished.
Absolutely. It's called, to begin with, shame on you for putting yourself in that predicament to begin with. And then shame on you twice for leaving your team
Struggling now.
Yeah.
Because now they have to work twice as hard to cover not only their zone, but your
Absolutely.
zone. And then
Like where was your head at?
exactly. And like yes, the workload gets spread out. Okay. But it's not the smart thing to do. Like I would rather let them score and be like, yo, just let them score. We still have 80 minutes
Yeah.
to do something. And even then, for them playing with 10 men,
Like give yourself a chance for redemption.
exactly. For Barcelona being down to 10 men for more than 80 minutes,
Yeah.
I think they did a good job at only losing 2-1, because a lot of other teams
Would have crumbled.
yeah, tripled maybe,
Yeah.
But it also shows how limited Monaco is though, because if they only
Absolutely.
scored 2 goals
Yeah.
against a 10-man Barcelona, it's like, bro, you need to fucking work on yourself. You need to fucking work on yourself. But yeah, so that was the first week of Champions League, which it lasted for 3 days.
Yeah.
Um,
Please just share your thoughts about this new format, these new days of playing. What do you think? Do you like it? Are
what do
you
you
giving it a
what do
chance?
you agree with? What do you want to keep? What do you want to or I'm sorry, not what do you want to keep, but what would you keep? What would you remove? What would you change? How would you adapt it? Essentially,
Yeah.
just give us your opinion.
And if you're Rigo, just
Shut
don't
up.
worry
Don't
about it.
talk.
Like
You're an
it's
Arsenal
this
fan.
is not for you. You're
Yeah.
an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Your math ain't mathing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, moving on to the
to week
next to the
of
next game.
Saturday, 21st of September.
It's so good, old London derby.
It's West,
West
Ham
Ham.
versus Chelsea
Okay,
at West Ham.
I will make a disclaimer here. Obviously, I'm getting ahead of myself because we're talking about the games that we missed, right? But currently, I think they've won 3 games out of 3, at least from the last 3 games. People are saying, oh, and I'm gonna say people, I mean the morons who believe everything they read online. They're saying like, oh, this Chelsea is
It's back.
yeah, it's back, it's this and that, and I'm like, no. Did they play good against West Ham? Yes, they played really good against West Ham. Did West Ham help Chelsea win? Yes, because a lot of the mistakes, were West Ham mistakes. But I think that's how every game goes, right? I
Yeah.
think
They've been taking advantage of circumstances.
exactly. Not to not give credit to what credit is due, right? Because it is a brand new system for Chelsea again.
So in these 3 games, how do you feel about your new coach?
I think they're okay. The coach. Well,
yeah, because he talks like an idiot sometimes.
yeah.
To be fair,
I think the one thing I do like about him is what he said. It's like, hey, if you put in the work, you actually prove that you actually want to be out in the field and you want to start. I'll give you the chance. But if you fuck up, bro,
yeah,
like get a number because you're gonna win a line again. Which I kind of agree, especially with the depth that he has.
that's insane.
I get it, and it's crazy that the media has made it worse because the media says that it's like 45 players when it's half of that. It's 25 players, which is still ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, but
it does hurt the academy though.
I don't think so.
You bought basically almost 2 squads instead of looking.
They didn't buy
within.
2 squads.
Like I'm exaggerating it, but you bought a lot of players when.
Yeah, but they also sold a lot of players. They actually netted positive.
Didn't they sell players that they just bought too?
No.
You sure?
Positive.
All right. It seems such a shit show.
I don't think it's a shit show. I think it's more that there's 2 owners and neither of them know what to do. I don't think it hurts the academy because they are actually selling the players from the academy. They're making money from the academy. You know who used to do that before? And then they were called the academy? Was West Ham.
I remember that.
So I think it's what Mourinho said a long time ago. It's an agenda, bro. Because think about it.
I thought you were gonna say football heritage.
No. Think about it. When Mourinho used to defend to get all 3 points, right? To defend the scoreline. What do people call it?
It was
Park the bus. But now Guardiola does it. Arteta does it, and it's tactical genius. So it's a bit of a bias, and it's crazy, and there's like a little bit of truth to it because in the Premier League website after the West Ham Chelsea game, They gave no credit to the Chelsea team or players on how they played. They literally said that the only reason, and I'm paraphrasing, but that Chelsea came away with 3 points because of West Ham's mistakes.
Welcome to this side, brother.
Well,
Because welcome to this
no.
side.
First of all,
No, no, no,
no,
no,
no,
no.
no, 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 no,
Welcome to
no.
this side because
First
that's
of
the
all,
same thing that I've been dealing with Tottenham. It wouldn't
first of
matter.
all,
It wouldn't matter
first
that they
of
were
all,
playing well. I'm talking about the times when they were actually playing well.
first
When
of
they were
all,
actually playing well. Look,
listen,
yes,
Linda.
they bottled stuff. I'm not going to deny that. But there's been several games where they have a great performance. For example, when they thrashed United
Mm-hmm.
at Old Trafford.
Clint Dempsey time days.
Nah,
Oh,
no, no, no. Actually, it was with Mourinho
oh,
when Mourinho had Tottenham. I think it was 6-2, the ending score.
oh. Okay, okay.
Great performance by the team. Great performance. But all the media talked about is how bad United played, all the mistakes they made. Zero praise for Tottenham.
Yeah,
And,
but
and
look at
it's been a constant thing. Even in fouls, obvious fouls that you've heard me bitch about left and right, that they wouldn't even. This was before and the beginning of VAR. The pundits would just talk nonsense about it, like if like that never happened, or people didn't see the
but
foul the
see,
way it happened.
but here's the difference though. Here's the difference. The difference between United and Tottenham.
Nah, I'm talking about
Hold on, hold on,
the
hold on,
biased.
hold on, hold on. The difference between United and Tottenham, and it will get to the bias. The reason they're criticized the way they are, including up to today, is because they have 20 Premier League titles, 3 Champions League titles, right? Chelsea have 5 Premier League titles, 2 Champions League titles.
I gave you only one example. There's many
Right.
examples. They can even be against teams like
So
there was several
don't
games
go
against
comparing
Southampton.
little chickens
Nah, bro.
to
You
actual
need to
wolves, all right?
chill. Because even against Southampton, when they thrashed them like it was 3 or 4-0, the Tottenham won playing well. Because there's games that they win 3-0, but they don't seem convincing. Kind of like the week on Saturday 21st of September of this year, they won 3-1 against Brentford.
Right.
But honestly,
The team played horrible.
yes, they did. That's the whole point. So when I'm talking about when they've actually had good games, that they played flowing football, that they look good, that they look like maybe there's something going on, credit they never acknowledged. So that's why I'm saying welcome to this side, because you're experiencing it now. But for other teams that have been experiencing it for a long time, it's like
I
now
think
you know
the
how it
only
feels.
team who experienced it is Tottenham because
It-
they bottle so many.
There's a culture. There's a culture around Tottenham for the beginning of time of it, because the first thing they say, even messing around, is for people that are starting to view the Premier League or whatever.
Don't be a
that's
Tottenham fan.
Don't be a Tottenham fan.
Well, yeah, because they
That's the
fucking
first thing
trash.
they say. Shut up. You're trash, man.
Okay, dude. Anyway, moving on. Chelsea battered West Ham away. I was about to say at Upton Park, but they haven't lived there for a long time. At the London Stadium, 3-0. Aston Villa thrashed Wolves 3-1 as well at home at Villa Park. Fulham Newcastle. That game freaking blew my mind because it was so good. Fulham looked fucking impeccable. My boy Raul Jimenez scoring a goal.
So huge contrast in this game from getting eliminated from the cup.
For 100%, like a fucking big 180, right? I will say this though, it could look like the revival, I would say, of the career of
Raul Jimenez.
no, he. This is like that. This is like this is his peak, bro.
Well, ever since his injury,
right,
he hasn't been the same.
You can tell that he plays with a lot more caution,
Uh,
and it's understandable.
yeah,
It's
absolutely.
really understandable. But I think if I think if he avoids the same thing that Chicharito did, that a lot of players do, and go back to Mexico, if he goes to MLS and stays at MLS, or if he stays in England, if he could stay in Europe, I think it'll benefit him a lot more than if he goes to Mexico.
I think that's the plan. I think that's what it looks like because I'm glad that he ended up staying in the Premier League.
Right, because he was going to go
Um,
back, right?
yeah. Yes, it's a very tough injury to have when
Hmm.
it's a head injury.
And not everyone can get through it.
Exactly. So it's kind of nice to see that he's scoring again a little more frequently.
Yeah, I think that confidence will slowly, but I mean very slowly, come back.
Yeah.
But it's understandable. But who the person I was talking about is Emile Smith Rowe.
Oh,
He's the
Smith Rowe.
ex Tottenham player who lefty. I think he's a lefty. He got injured. He got benched, and when once he came back, I think he only played. He they only gave him like the last 5 minutes, like 5 minutes or so of the games. But it was understandable because he was out for more than a year. It's kind of like getting him back into the rhythm, kind of thing. And this game against Newcastle, he played like if he was never injured or anything. He played very well. He defended, he attacked really, really well. So I hope I hope this gives him a confidence boost.
Are you done?
Yeah, well,
Because I don't know where the heck you got it from.
mm-hmm.
Don't ever disrespect.
Who Tottenham? Tottenham shit,
No,
bro.
you call them an ex Tottenham.
Ex Arsenal.
You said ex Tottenham.
Did I?
Yes.
You sure?
That's why I'm looking at you like, no, bro.
Oh, sorry. It's because I trash with trash. You know what I mean?
Shut up.
Arsenal and Tottenham. Trash with trash. You know. Anyways, they both live in each other's shadow, and they both live under Chelsea's shadow. So what can I say? Um, the Leicester Everton game, I thought it was gonna be a typical Everton game where they ended up blundering it and losing the game, but they actually held for the draw. So good for them. Liverpool, the Bournemouth game. I mean, it was whatever. It was a eh.
With Liverpool, you know how they beat United? Oh no, wait.
Sure.
Who was it that they beat? They beat not United. Who was it? Who was it? No, no, yeah, it was United that they beat United.
When?
Um, it was like I think it was their second game,
Okay.
and you know how I was kind of talking trash about Arne Slot
Mm-hmm.
uh, when they asked him about Ten Hag's tactics,
Mm-hmm.
and he was able to break it down so eloquently. I'm like, holy smoke, this motherfucker is gonna make me eat my words. But as time goes by, even though he's winning, I feel that it's gonna happen like you see it a lot. They'll have a good start, and then halfway the season just
It's start
fall
coming
off.
down.
Yeah,
Well,
but we'll see. Let's
I
see
don't
what
know.
happens.
The Southampton Ipswich game. You can kind of tell that the the tenacity. I would say I don't know if that's the right word, but the physical endurance of the league of the Premier League is too much for Ipswich Town.
No,
Bec-
you can tell right away.
yeah, you can.
They don't have the players.
No,
They don't have the caliber of players to maintain it.
like cool. You got promoted, and good for them, right? Good for them because I think it's been like 20 something years since they've been in the Premier League, or 20 years, or less than 20 years, something like that, since they've been back in
Yeah.
the Premier League. But yeah, it's
You would see this coming as well from what is it like previous season?
yeah,
Like you can tell the efforts there. It's just the manpower is not there.
yeah, and like you can tell who's gonna like last and who's not gonna last
Yeah.
immediately. Um, before we get to the controversial game, let's go to the Crystal Palace United game. That game, I believe, was a pretty dead even game. Uh, Crystal Palace had their chances. Like they looked. Like fucking Onana had the game of his fucking season. Um, which says a lot because Crystal Palace is not a good team.
Nah.
They're not a bad team. They're an average team, a mid-table team.
Mid-table team. Yeah.
But when you, it's because for people who don't know, like you gotta understand, the badge and the name carries a lot of weight. Manchester United carries a lot of weight.
It's it's
Maybe
what Arsenal no it's what Everton used to represent. You know, it was you would play Everton and you never knew what team you were going to face because they were very complicated.
yeah, because when it was like Liverpool, when every time it was the Merseyside derby, it'd be a explosive. You
Yeah.
would think Everton are fucking second place, third place team,
Yes. Yes.
right? And then they play fucking, I don't know,
Ipswich.
yeah, and they lose like 6-0. And you're like, huh?
Yeah.
And same thing with Crystal Palace, right? They're like, you don't know what you're gonna get. But United, they're known for win the league, so many times.
Yeah.
They are known for Sir Alex Ferguson. That's why their stadium is called the Theater of Dreams, because it's where other teams would kind of have the idea that they can maybe win, but nah, bruh. United would come on top, and I think the last person to bring somewhat success to the team was Mourinho.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because they criticize him for not being successful enough, and yet,
Even with that team, he still won trophies. Not the league, but he at least won trophies
yeah,
with them, and it speaks more. He tried he tried to explain the situation, and everybody called him crazy.
yeah. I mean, he kind of is crazy,
But
but but I
in
know,
that scenario,
yeah. He
kind
was
of
like spot on,
yeah,
yeah. But yeah, that game, honestly, Crystal Palace should have won it. But they just they just didn't get lucky enough, I guess.
yeah.
They weren't enough. So yeah, and then moving on to the very controversial game, I would say,
It was
Tottenham
there
Brentford.
was a controversial moment. Yes, it wasn't a controversial game.
I would say it was because that handball,
You think that would have changed the game?
100%. Because one, it's a red card. You're already down a player, and I can't, because it's not even, because it wasn't even VAR and or anything, which is fucking diabolical to me. Because Vicarious, the Tottenham goalkeeper,
Guillermo Vicario.
he handled the ball twice outside the, what do you call it, the goalkeeping zone, the,
The box, the area.
yeah, right. He and everyone reacted, as in, when I mean everyone, the Brentford team, the Brentford bench, the Brentford coach, the assistant coach, the water boy around the corner, everyone fucking reacted like, yo, ref, that was a handball. Like, you're gonna VAR it? And even the commentators were like, oh, surely VAR is gonna step in right now, anytime, any second. A minute went by. Right now, as soon as the ball goes out, they're gonna VAR it. Ball goes out, and the commentators were like, what? What's going on?
Yeah, it was a very, very.
And to this day, mind you, this has been what, a week, right? It's been a
Mhm.
week. We haven't even heard anything,
Yeah,
and it's fucking crazy to me, because that
like
would
I
have changed
said,
everything.
that game Tottenham
I
did
think it was
not play
before even
well.
they scored, right? I think it was even before
I
Tottenham scored,
think
because Tottenham scored in the second half. Wait, no,
no, it was like 1-1.
exactly. It's
It
mad
was
1-1.
1-1.
That would have been
It was not a good performance by Tottenham. It was just yeah. VAR should have
intervened.
intervened there. Um, I wouldn't even be upset about that because it was that obvious.
He got really lucky.
Yeah, and I remember you texting me.
Yeah, like,
Tottenham got
immediately,
lucky.
bro. I was
Yes,
like,
and I'm like,
bro.
I saw it. I saw it.
I was like, bro, like,
Yeah.
yeah, this man's selling fucking mangoes in the street, bro. But, and I mean, at the end of the day, most of these games now, I think it's based on luck, right? Because merit alone won't do it.
Yeah, we've been seeing that. Yeah.
Sunday, the 22nd. Two great games. Brighton, Nottingham Forest. That game ended 2-2. That game was pretty controversial. There was a red card,
Red card.
for Nottingham Forest,
Yeah.
and it was a scandalous, because it was decided by a scandalous referee, which was Taylor. What's his last name? I know
So
Taylor.
scandalous.
It was Taylor. It was basically the ref that everyone hates. Something Taylor. I forgot his first name, but everyone hates him because of his controversial calls that he just wildly gives yells and red cards. But anyways,
Isn't he the one that was like,
Anthony Taylor.
And yeah,
Anyways,
that's like, oh, I didn't want to ruin the flow of the game
yeah, for some
scenario.
bullshit, right?
Yeah.
But so it was a counterattack by Brighton, and they were going from, if you're looking to the camera, from right to left. They were going up, and Morgan Gibbs White slides from the side of the player. He gets all ball. The ball goes out for a throw in. The referee, who's actually refereeing the game, he says all ball because the voice recorder has been released. All ball, all ball. The players from Brighton come up and say, "Hey, that's a foul." He goes, "No, he got the ball." The fourth official, who's on the sideline, he says, "Hey, you can probably give him a second yellow because yes, he did get ball, but he also got the man."
Yeah.
And so the ref stops the game after the throw-in, gives a second yellow, red card. And as soon as that happens, the whole Nottingham Forest bench throws a fit, which is
It's
completely understanding.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nuno Espirito Santo, which is the head coach,
too, right?
literally seconds later,
Yeah.
starts yelling at the fourth official, Anthony Taylor, saying, "You fucked this up. You caused this. You are a cheater." As soon as that word came out of his mouth, boom, red card immediately. So I don't know. I think it was something that should have been VAR'd, but it couldn't,
absolutely,
because it was a double yellow, which I think that's a stupid rule.
It is. It's ridiculous, especially if the audio is released. It makes them look more ridiculous.
So it's crazy because they punish players for betting, right? Yellows, goals,
Yes.
whatever. If the players do it, what makes you think the refs don't do it? The refs in the NFL do it all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like, bruh, you know what I mean? I think they should overwrite that rule in general across every
if it's
league.
A game changing situation.
I think it's just period. If it's a foul,
yeah,
I think it's just, even if the ref if the ref, right, asks for it or doesn't, I think VAR should be like, yo, hold on, delay the game for 60 seconds. Boom, just look at it. Okay, move on. I mean, they already add 9-10 minutes of the fucking game.
Yeah.
What's another 30 seconds?
Well, yeah, that's true.
So I think that was a very horrible decision on the game. I hope the refs do get punished, but they, at the end of the day, they do not get punished.
At least not the way we would like to. So to make an impact.
So they can, all right, like, I made a mistake. Let me actually think about what I'm, next time, whatever. But it is what it is. And then like the big, Sunday game, right? Man City Arsenal, where
they drew 2-2.
Yeah,
another red card.
But before that, the comments were like from like European commentators that were like, "Oh, whoever wins this game is gonna win the league." I doubt it.
That's
because
too much of a
City don't look that good. They really don't.
I'm gonna be disappointed if they actually take it.
Do you remember? I told you before the season started that in the preseason games, Man City don't look good.
Yeah,
and neither do Arsenal. Dominated their games, but you can tell immediately the difference, the caliber in players, not only the caliber in the team, like the unity it has. And for Arsenal to, yes, they lost someone at the half. Actually, it happened at the half. They got that second yellow on Leandro Trossard, who I think is a liability of a player. First of all, he kicked the ball. He committed he was already on a yellow card. He committed a foul and kicked the ball.
Yeah.
So people were saying like, oh, it's not fair because this and that, bro. You can't get your way and have ice cream with it. You know what I mean? You know that saying? Like you can't like get what you want and
You can't
fucking
get your cake and eat it.
and eat it exactly. So I kind of get the frustration because it's the second time it happens to Arsenal. I kind of get like bro, but at the same time, it's like
It, it
if you're
it
the
has to
coach,
do with concentration
yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
Like I put that on concentration of the player.
Okay, so that's where I was going. If it happens once, it's like, all right, let's learn from it, right?
Yeah.
But it happens again, it's like, bro, like, what the fuck are you doing?
And again, these are the little hints that you see from Arsenal that always make you believe they're not going to win the league.
Yeah, because
Like even if they dominate so much or they're playing a better football or whatever, there's these little things that manifest in each games of lack of concentration, lack of sometimes
of
even effort
trust.
or trust. Yes, that it shows you they're not gonna win the league.
Yeah, because so when this game was 2-1 Arsenal winning, and I was thinking to myself, if City get a draw out of this, right? Because winning's gonna be, I think it was like the 80th, 90th minute, right? When they
Yeah,
scored something like that. I thought to myself, if City can get a draw from this, that is a champions team mentality. Because even though they are a man up, Arsenal, all 10 men are literally behind the ball.
behind the
They're
ball.
literally hiding. They are literally fucking with their shields up. And as they say, winning a game with 10 men is not something everyone can do. And Chelsea have done that. United have done that. Tottenham have done that. Plenty of other teams have done it. But teams like Chelsea and United, who have been champions or had that champions mentality, pull it off. Teams who pull it off and have never won it are a team that is like almost there. They just need that little extra oomph to get them there. But either they do or they don't get it. That just depends on the um
I think the key, just to kind of confirm what you're talking about, is I think the key aspect of this scenario is you're not you're yes you're dropping points, but you're still taking points.
exactly. If you're the losing team and
Yes,
you end up drawing
I feel because last season Arsenal finished
second.
second. Again, there's a difference, City and Arsenal. Where you were about to walk away with nothing, you took something, and
Right.
then you took advantage of the smaller teams.
Right.
Arsenal lost 2 points against City
Right. 100%.
for drawing this game, and then you're gonna go and lose against a lower team.
Yeah.
That's the
Exactly.
difference.
Yeah. So there was a couple of controversies besides that red card
With
where the
Erling
ref.
Haaland.
Well, no, no. Again, I don't. That's not controversy. I just think that's just shithousery.
It, yes, but
I
you
don't.
have to admit at least the yellow card should have been warranted
Oh,
because
hundred
for
percent,
throwing that
a
ball
100%.
after scoring, throwing the ball at the opponent.
No, 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 yeah, yeah. Yeah.
That's the
That's.
only thing.
But I don't think it's controversy. The controversy would have been if he would have done it and a fight would have broke out. Not a fight, but like a little, grouping would have
Yeah,
happened. That then and like no yellows or anything, that would be controversy. But the fact that the second goal, the first goal I think it's the first goal that Arsenal scored. No, not the first goal. Yeah, or one of them shouldn't have counted because one, the ball restarted about 20 meters away from the actual foul. Two, the referee restarted the game when they were asking. I think something about the ball still rolling, something like that.
oh, okay. I remember perfectly. So, Kyle Walker was upset because
They
he
were
was
taking the free kick to the head, right?
so there was a foul. There was a foul committed,
Mm-hmm.
or it's something, and the ref actually called the player over,
Yeah,
and because he called the player over and restarted it before he was able to get back, that's when the goal
And it
went in.
happened from the zone that
Yeah.
he was supposed to cover.
So the argument is, if you're calling me over, at least give me a chance to get back
Yeah.
before you restart the game.
It was something like that.
And it is different being called other than you going to the ref
Yeah.
and then he restarts it and then that's your fault because you
Because yeah.
lack of concentration.
Mhm.
But the ref is calling you over. That's
Yeah.
the difference. That's what he was arguing.
Yeah. So it's again, and Anthony Taylor was the one who was the fourth official in the I think it was Anthony Taylor,
He's
right?
just filled with different bags of tricks, huh?
Something like that. I don't know if it was Anthony Taylor or not, but yeah. So yeah, it was a proper shit house, proper. Oh no, that was Michael Oliver. I'm sorry, against Arsenal. But yeah, anyways, um, yeah. So I would say Arsenal came out with luck out of that game in getting those two goals. The header from Gabriel, I would say deserved because I think that's all they practiced without Martin Odegaard corner kicks. But you can tell that Martinelli, Gabriel, Havertz, all these other players, that they don't have what it takes to carry the team over that line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, City picked up a point. Arsenal dropped 2 points.
Okay, I found this on the.
But yeah,
We got an intruder. Intruder alert.
fucking Siri, bro. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, moving on real quickly to the Bundesliga. I think Bayer Leverkusen. I wouldn't say they're back, but they're starting to find their groove again because they ended up winning again against Wolfsburg
In the last minute.
in the 94th minute. They scored the game-winning goal in the 94th minute, which is, I think, so far they are the team who's done it the most, like in the last 40 games,
Yeah.
which is fucking crazy, man.
Obviously their winning streak has finished, but
No, yeah, for sure.
they're still alive in the league.
Let's see if they can it's still fresh, but you know what? I'm saying it right now. I think this weekend, Saturday or Sunday, one of those days, it's Bayern versus Bayern versus Bayer.
Bayer Leverkusen.
Yeah, I think whoever wins that game, well, I think if Bayern Munich wins that game, they're champions. I'm calling it right now. They're just that solid right now.
So
I think getting rid of Delete
uh-huh.
and Mazarawi, whatever, freaking is a blessing, bro. Because remember, they would play last season. I would tell you, this fool on the right wing, which was Mazarawi, he is a liability.
Yeah.
And Delete, he wasn't even playing because he was shit.
No, completely. Ever since he left Ajax, he has not found
a rhythm. I think because he went for money to Juve, he never found that. Moving on, still Sunday, real quickly. The Derby Olympique. Lyon versus Marseille.
Another red card.
He got red carded, I think, in the first 10 minutes too. I don't know, like what the hell.
It's been red card galore.
Minute 5.
Red cards galore left and right.
That game was proper shithousery. If any of you have ever seen like a Boca River, think of it like that, but in France. And
dirty, grimy.
Yeah, like it's like those are dirty games. Marseille came out on top even though they were a man down since the beginning of the game. Lyon was pushing. Marseille were literally holding back. They did what Arsenal couldn't do. That's all to say. They had all 10 men behind the ball. And then when they got the opportunity, counterattack, score. Counterattack, score. Counterattack, score. But the cherry on top is a Marseille player. He did proper shithousery back when he was in Brighton every time he would play. But now that he is in France, he's doing his shithousery elsewhere, which is Neil Maupay. He took a picture of basically making fun of Leon in the Leon dressing room, and yeah, it's just proper shit house.
Yeah.
If you understand that rivalry, it's literally Boca River, it's literally Barcelona Madrid, but it's the French version of it, and it gets very loud, very bloody, and it's insane. Especially now that Marseille is playing better than they did last season, it's gonna get a lot louder, and Marseille is gonna be a lot louder. But the Milan derby was that day too, which was it was okay. Captain America scored.
Mm-hmm.
Your boy Captain America.
He's not my boy. He's your boy. He's like
Hey man,
ex-Chelsea.
he's a Champions League winner. That's all. That's all I remember for him for scoring against Madrid, the game-winning goal. Don't worry, you'll be there one day, kid. And yeah, I
You
mean,
ready to move on?
good for good for Milan. New uh, a few new players. You know, they they're playing with two forwards, but not side by side. They're playing one behind the other.
One behind. Well, yeah. You got your post.
You would think the top one is the one on top of the post,
Yeah.
but it isn't. It's the bottom one, which is I don't know. I mean, good for Paulo Fonseca for adding something new, I guess. But yeah, it's working for him right now. So I mean, good for him.
I think they're gonna win it again.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean,
It seems like they invested decently enough.
so far they've only lost a game.
Yeah.
Torino is undefeated. But,
We'll see how it goes.
yeah, I mean, the Italian league it's not like the Premier League or something like the German league where you can kind of tell who's gonna win or you know.
Well, kinda, because
I don't think so.
that's how Inter was playing and ended up winning.
Yeah, but Inter were dominant. Like they were dominating.
Exactly, and
No,
then
but Milan lost last.
I feel that Milan is heading to that direction.
But Milan lost like 2 weeks ago. It's not the same. It's not the same. I would say this, at least in my eyes. Going on to Tuesday.
September 24th.
Yep.
Got some cup action as well.
The cup action continues. We have Chelsea Borough, which is they thrashed this lower league team, but again, it has that name, lower league. So to me, it's not like
it's like good for doing your job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, they played with no forwards. I think it was nothing but attacking midfielders.
Yeah.
And they played like that video of Van Persie and Ray when they play it with this 9-year-olds or whatever.
Yeah, with all the kids.
Yeah, and they're just doing like flare passes. That's exactly what it looked like.
Huh.
But instead of being 9-year-old kids, it was against 35-year-olds. And it's like you're playing against 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds. Like you're gonna get outrun.
Yeah.
Well,
again, Borough. When have you heard of that name?
Yeah. So I mean, it's people saying like, oh my god, credit to credit what credit's due. Sure, because if they would have lost, people would have been like, oh, it's the same old Chelsea, but or at least the same old recent Chelsea, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they won. I'm happy with it that they got to, but I'm not like, holy crap, they looked amazing. No,
yeah.
If they would have done that against a Premier League team, then I'd be like, okay, all right, my bad. I'm sorry.
I see you.
Yeah. Man City Watford game.
Yeah.
I thought Watford were gonna win.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't catch that one.
I
just saw the scoreline at the end. I'm like,
the game.
I was surprised that it was such a low-scoring game because I would assume that
they would dominate. City would dominate. Yeah. So City were winning 2-0 the whole game.
Yeah.
But it was Watford who were attacking. It was Watford who were putting the pressure. They just couldn't execute.
So a little sidebar, very quickly, public service announcement.
Mm-hmm.
This is not an endorsement. This is not anything like that. This is just for information purposes.
Mhm.
Watford is actually looking for investors. I came across this information that they have assets for purchase. So if you're interested in investing in football, that might be your chance. End of the commercial.
Oh, okay. But yeah, but Man City ended up winning 2-1, but I don't know. The scoreline lies. Even though City scored early on,
Yeah.
you can just tell that Watford were not giving up. That they were trying to at least get a draw out of it. Even if they lost in penalties, they were looking for like at least that, kind of like, hey, look at us. We went up against the current English champions,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, Leicester won on penalties against Walsall, another team that's like lower league team. Wycombe Wanderers lost against Aston Villa, again another lower league team.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the point of these cup games as well as the FA Cup. It's the point of it, right? Getting the lower league teams that chance to beat
Their exposure and not just
but not only that, but just beat
yeah.
a top team, right?
Give them a glory day.
Mm-hmm. And now that all these games, the Championship, League One, League Two, the Carabao Cup, are all on Paramount Plus because they bought the rights.
Yeah.
That will give them more exposure. So yeah. Anyways, moving on to Wednesday's League Cup game, Arsenal Bolton. That one, honestly, as soon as I saw Arsenal score, I was like, they're gonna get Arsenal gonna thrash Bolton, 5-1.
Against Bolton.
Bolton Wanderers.
Mhm.
Liverpool West Ham. I thought that was gonna be a lot of a closer game.
It started kind of shaky, huh?
Yeah, that's why I thought it was gonna be like a closer match, but 5-1 as well.
Like it started shaky, and then all of a sudden, like West Ham just completely opened up at the end.
Yeah, and it was just like,
yeah,
they got fucking West Ham They got ran through.
mm-hmm.
That Wednesday was a Europa League game.
Europa League. Very briefly, very quickly.
AZ Alkmaar 3, Elfsborg 2.
Another red card in that game.
Bodo Glimt 3, Porto 2.
Another red card in that game.
Anderlecht versus Ferencváros. Another red card in that game, 2-1 for Anderlecht. Dynamo Kiev 0, Lazio 3.
Two red cards, one for each team.
FC Midland 1, Hoffenheim 1, Galatasaray 3, PAOK 1. I saw that game. What's his face? Freaking the freaking
Saha?
No. The guy who thinks he's freaking like the best team. Osimhen.
Yeah, from Napoli.
Yeah. His style of play is very aggressive. Yeah. It's like, I want the ball, give me the ball kind of play. It might work against Italians or players in the Serie A.
Against PAOK.
But I think against teams from Greece. But I think if he does that in Germany, if he does that in England, week in, week out, I don't think I think he's another Haaland where he can bully people for sure.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't have the right delivery, he will not succeed.
Yeah.
So that's what I got from that. Moving on to Ludogorets Razgrad versus Slavia Prague. Prague came out 2-0.
I used to work with the guy that
was a Slavia Prague fan.
Yeah, well, he's from there.
Oh, okay.
And Prague? Yeah. So when they played against Tottenham in Champions League, it was such a fun banter going back and forth. But hey, that was cool.
It's like playing against lower league teams. Before we get to the elephant in the room, Nice versus Real Sociedad 1-1.
Mm-hmm.
But the game I caught because I wanted to see them lose was Manchester United versus FC Twente. Now, both these coaches have gone up against each other, I think, like 10 times in their history.
Yeah.
So they should know each other pretty well. The game was very interesting. It was back and forth. I would say Twente got lucky with the draw. Not to not give him credit because their goal was actually decent, but Erik Ten Hag coming out and saying that the reason they lost is because they have young players and it's a new format or whatever he's spewing this week is the biggest bullshit of an excuse I can think of. Because, for one, I think they should have won based on the players that he fielded, but you can tell that his players have no idea what to do with the ball. They just literally play the long ball. Garnacho, the super sub, no show. I think in the whole second half, I think he played for 30 minutes or so, 40 minutes. He didn't touch the ball.
But I think that's the problem. I think that whatever Ten Hag is, whatever he's actually trying to do, I think it's just not translating in general.
His star forward Xerxes, the villain from 300. He was horrible. Marcus Rashford again, no show in the important games.
I think
it's
he
crazy.
Needs to leave.
It's crazy
he
because
needs to leave United.
Because it's crazy because he's one of the highest earners.
Yeah.
At United, he is an average player who gets hyped like if he's Ronaldinho.
He needs new air. He needs another challenge because he's not going to deliver.
Eriksen, you can tell the age is getting to him.
Yeah, but you always have the fear that something's going to happen to him now. Ever since his accident,
right?
Like you want to criticize him, but you can't because he's not 100% to begin with.
Well, then why is he still playing?
That's because that's bad business from United.
Yeah. Ugarte, the Uruguayo they brought, saying also I think from the Netherlands, I think they also brought him from. Mm-hmm. He had a horrible game. Even though FootMob gave him a positive rating, I saw the match and he was nowhere. Mazraoui, he had an okay game, but the guy he was going up against was like, eh.
Yeah.
So Harry Maguire was typical.
I don't understand why they let him be.
But overall, United looked shaky at times.
Yeah.
But I still think they should have won. Yeah, they should have won that game.
All right. Moving on
to yesterday.
Well, yeah, yesterday.
Yesterday, all my triples seem so far away. No.
Fenerbahce,
yeah. Won the Europa League,
2-1 against Union Saint.
Yeah, go ahead, pronounce that.
Gilois.
Sure, Gilligan. We'll call him Gilligan.
Nah, that's not what I said. Red cards for each team.
That's crazy, bro.
I'm telling you, it's been.
Red
and
card
you
galore.
Get a red card, and you get a red card.
Galore,
everybody gets a red card. Then you got Malmo losing to Rangers 2-0. Ajax 4, Besiktas 0, Braga 2, Maccabi Tel Aviv 1 with 2 red cards for Tel Aviv, Frankfurt 3, Victoria Pilsen 3-3,
Basel FC FCS Basel 4 RFS. That sounds fishy, bro. RFS.
Sounds sus.
Yeah, it sounds sus. 4-1, Basel came out on top.
Yeah, it did.
Okay. No. Lyon versus Olympiacos. Lyon came out 2-0 on top. Roma versus Athletic Club de Bilbao was an even draw, 1-1. And then Tottenham Hotspur versus Karabakh.
A red card in the 5th minute of the game. We just finished talking about this.
And it was about the same, and it was a very similar red card to the one the Barcelona player got.
Dragosin was not concentrated. He gave up the ball extremely easy with plenty of time, and he took him down. not too aggressive. It was not aggressive, but the fact that he was last man with the possibility of a goal,
Yeah.
granted the red card.
Which to me, I think it's hilarious when players do that, right? They know, like, you know what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Obviously. I think it's hilarious that they go to the ref and they have that surprised look, like, what did I do? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like, bro, come on, man.
So yes, from the 5th minute, Tottenham was down 10 men. They still won 3-0. But against Karabakh, they should have won regardless.
But yeah, with me, they won.
Yeah.
But
So even with 10 men, if they would have lost,
that would have been hilarious.
oh,
bro.
it would be.
That
Yeah.
would have been hilarious.
So very briefly, you had asked me about Ange Postecoglou. I don't remember what day exactly.
I think it was the last time we
That
did
you
this.
like, how do you feel?
Mhm.
You know, and I go back. Now I'm at the point that I'm not excited to watch the games. I'm not.
Hey, man, he said that he wins trophies on a second year, bro.
Now all that talk that he does sounds dumb. Everything that he comes out of his mouth. It was refreshing at first because we wanted to change the mentality, but now with the results and how the team plays, he just looks like a one-trick pony, and he doesn't want to admit that that's all he knows how to do, and he's coming off stupid.
I
I
honestly,
still hope I eat my words, but I just don't see this guy being the guy.
I can see it now. Ange Postecoglou signs a 4-year extension at Tottenham Hotspur.
I would be extremely upset, especially with the caliber of coaches we've let go and not let work. I would be extremely upset. I don't think Antonio Conte failed. I think Tottenham failed
him.
Antonio Conte,
Oh, yeah,
and
100%.
Tottenham failed Jose Mourinho.
Bro, Antonio Conte, I think, is one of the most underrated coaches.
Absolutely.
Not because what he did at Juve, not because but because what he did at Chelsea, where he came in, and I've said this many of times. He came in, we lost our first 3 games,
Yeah.
and I remember us losing the first 2 games. The third game we lost was against Arsenal, and I was devastated because I was like, "How do we lose to this shit fucking team, man?" We ended up losing, I think, like 4-0 at the Emirates.
Yeah.
I was like, "Ugh, get this guy out of here." I was like, if that's his fucking style, get him the fuck out of here. And literally the next game was when he did the famous 5 midfielders, 3 at the back, and he changed the game,
Yeah.
and we ended up winning the league that season in his first fucking season, and I ended up getting to Champions League semifinals.
Like I one of the things that I stick with like that stays in my memory about him, that those within those 2 years at Chelsea, is when they played against Tottenham.
In the FA Cup, right?
Oh my God.
In the semifinal.
And he had it threw us off that he had benched.
He had the audacity,
Yes,
bro.
he benched freaking
Hazard and Diego Costa.
Yes, Hazard and Diego
The
Costa.
2 best players in the whole fucking league.
Benched them, and we were thinking we had a chance. And this motherfucker says, "Watch this."
And it's crazy because I think the game was like 2-1. Tottenham were up.
Yes,
Something like that, right?
Yes, we thought we had that
And it was
game.
like the 70th minute, some shit like that.
I give him every ounce of credit from it. To me, I saw that as a stroke of genius. That's one of the things that has stuck with me from Antonio Conte. And I don't like Chelsea. I don't.
Because as soon as those 2 boys came in, Chelsea won 4-2.
Yeah.
It was diabolical, bro. It was like the biggest slap in the face.
It hurt my feelings bad. But I had to give credit. And
but you know what was the craziest thing ever is that people saw that, right?
yeah.
They saw how much Eden Hazard and Diego Costa put the team on their backs,
Yeah.
and they still said Pep Guardiola, Kevin De Bruyne, and Sergio Agüero were better than them. Which is crazy because now you can say it because Diego Costa's nowhere in sight.
He's gone,
Hazard is
yeah.
retired. Diego Conte is pretty much, no pulse to his career. I know he's in Italy, I think.
Napoli.
Yeah, so
Well, he's the one that told Osimhen, you said he wanted to go. Go.
yeah. Well, the owner said that,
Antonio Conte too.
but the owner had already said we're
Yeah.
not dealing with you anymore.
But
But to what I was going to though, that stroke of genius, even that formation, that 2-5-3 or whatever it was,
yeah.
he's the one who brought it, and every other Pep Guardiola took it. Everyone took it after that season, and they gave all the credit to Pep, which just fucking blows my mind, dude. How crazy that shit was. They fucking slob on his fucking knob way too much, dude. Honestly,
Yeah.
and it's you can actually see it now more than ever that he's not as good of a coach as people think he is.
It's a tough one because I agree on a lot of that. I do think how can I put it? I do think Pep is one of the biggest lies in football.
Right.
But at the end of the day, the arguments are
Or
always
what?
going to be
That he has trophies.
yeah. It-
Hey, well, we'll find out after this court cases too.
exactly.
But now I think it's the perfect time where you can notice that I wouldn't say a fraud, right? Because a fraud is a very strong term. I would say where he's not as good as people label him, because if he was, I would say, as good as people say he is, the seasons he lost, the Champions League final he lost against Chelsea, when the government was against Chelsea, when they wouldn't allow Roman Abramovich to pay the staff or the players, where Thomas Tuchel had to fucking use regular commercial transportation instead of fucking actual transportation like everybody else, where everything had to pay out of pocket, where they didn't have support from sponsors because of the owner,
Yeah.
where they couldn't do transfers, and they won the league and they won the Champions League. That was when Pep Guardiola should have been he should have just swept them, fucking swept them.
Yeah. Yes.
And his excuse was, what was it in the summer? We need more players. And it's fucking crazy that in 2 years he spent 1.2 billion, but yet Chelsea's 3 years 1.2 billion is what fucking people notice.
Everybody knows that City has spent like crazy. Everybody knows this. And
But it's swept under the rug though.
it is. It is. My biggest problem with Pep has been since Barcelona. You know, since Barcelona, that's where I've had the problem with him. I don't like him in the sense of of a coach, of a strategic coach. I don't think he's that what people
Yeah,
made
in
him
that
to
pedestal that
look.
put him. Yeah.
Yes, I can't take away his trophies. Yes, I can't do
But
none of that.
see,
And all those trophies pretty much are against my argument.
to me is he didn't build that winning team.
No, I've never seen him
Build a team.
a team
Exactly.
from scratch. That's why I will always have in higher regard Mourinho over him.
Yep.
He did insane things with
Porto.
yeah, absolutely
When he
with
won the
Porto.
Champions League and the league, when he came to Chelsea and he fucking bought and fucking cooked players.
Yeah.
When he went to fucking after that, well, he went to Madrid and he did his fucking.
When he went to Inter.
Oh yeah, when he went to and beat Bayern Munich,
the powerful Barcelona
and the powerful Bayern Munich at home at the Allianz Arena.
So but again, I guess at the end of the day, that's just my opinion, our opinion about it. Um, I get it. The guy has a bunch of trophies, whatever.
But
I,
to so last words on it. I think the team that Pep inherited in Barcelona was
Frank Rijkaard.
yeah, Frank Rijkaard's, because it was literally the same players. Just what a year later he added what Pedro, because Xavi and Iniesta were already playing.
But didn't he add Busquets?
He added Busquets because Busquets was barely coming out of the academy.
Yeah.
He brought back Piqué.
So let me tell you this: you don't think it's more credit to the recruiters than his strategics?
No, because at that point in time, Barcelona was, hey, we don't buy players, we take them out of our academy.
Yeah.
That's why it worked for him. That's why they gave credit to him, right?
Yeah.
But again, I don't think I would say 50% of the credit goes to Pep, but the other 50 goes to Rijkaard. The whole tiki taka wasn't even his idea. It was Cruyff. It was literally the Barcelona handbook,
Yeah.
right? When he went
So
to when he went to Bayern Munich after his Barcelona career, the team did not change. The coach that was there before him won everything in Germany, plus the Champions League, plus the Super UEFA.
and he was heavily criticized because there was a season that he didn't win the league, right? Or
Yeah, his second, yeah, he did. I think the first year he didn't win the league. The second year he won the league, but in the 2 years he was at Bayern Munich, he never once won the Champions League.
yeah.
He got eliminated at the round of 16,
Hmm.
and it was the same players.
To me, it looked like he gave up because he knew he wasn't going to go further.
The only player he brought in was Thiago.
Yeah.
That was the only player he brought in. And he can't say it was the forward. He can't say it was the midfield. He can't say it was the goalkeeper, because literally at that Bayern Munich was fucking terrifying. Because it was the Bayern Munich that was like, oh shit, we gotta play Bayern. Nobody wanted to play that Bayern.
He had a fall off with Schweinsteiger, right?
Yeah, because I mean the only thing I can assume is the same thing that happened with Zlatan, where they figured out this motherfucker just bullshitting.
Yeah.
But
Like, I think he's a great speaker, a great motivator, but
yeah,
I don't think he's
a
as
great coach.
strategic
Yeah,
as people
give him
think.
give him credit for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
and same thing at City. The team was already built
Well, yeah.
because
Mancini came in and
yeah,
they won.
Mancini won the league with with,
Yeah.
with City, and then Pep came in.
Pellegrini
Well, before
won the
Mancini,
league.
yeah, before Man.
No, Mancini won the league. Then Pellegrini came in, inherited that team.
Are you sure?
I believe so.
No, Pellegrini was first, because it was first. It was David. It was
Pellegrini won the league, but the first one to win it was Mancini.
no, you're wrong.
Well, fact check.
I'll tell you right now. Oh wait, that's the wrong Pellegrini. Let's see. Man City, real quickly here. Manuel, I put Mauricio. Let's go to Wiki real quick. Come on, come on. Manager from. Let me see.
I
Honors.
promise you, it was Mancini that won the league after.
Nope. Mm,
I think we need some like mood music in the meantime.
well, that's your job, bro. Domestic. Hold on. He was at Man City from 2013 to 2016.
right? 2013 to 2016. Pellegrini was before Mancini.
Mm,
Mm-hmm. You can check it. You're on your computer. You can check it.
Pellegrini led City to the Premier League title in his
Mhm.
first year in charge.
Mm-hmm. In from 20 what? What did I say?
Mancini won in 2012.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you.
Maybe I got the old man confused. I'm pretty sure. Well, anyways, go on.
Mancini is when Aguero.
That was 2012?
Yeah,
I thought that was fucking later.
no, 2012.
Uh-huh. Go on, go on.
So now I lost my train of thought for all this fact checking.
Right.
Oh well, we were talking about Guardiola.
Mm-hmm.
How Mancini won the league finally for City after so many years.
Right.
Then
Right.
Pellegrini came in. He won it once, and then Pep came in.
Right.
So
And that team was built essentially.
So City had already been
a winner
fighting for titles.
for silverware, yeah. Mm-hmm. Go on.
So that's why I do believe that he didn't come in a situation that he had to build from scratch.
Oh yeah, of course. And then that was when the famous 1 billion. That was the first time I think when Pep. I think Pep was the first one who spent $1 billion.
Yeah, Manuel Pellegrini on June 14,
right?
June 14 from 2013, he was appointed manager of Manchester City and won the Football League Cup and Premier League in his first season as manager. So it was right after Mancini.
Yeah. So Mancini is the one who essentially built it with Balotelli and crap, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think I just don't think he's as good as people say he is. You know.
Me neither.
I don't think
But
he's
hey, it's a biased opinion. If you want to come at us, go ahead. The comments are there.
Yeah,
we want to hear your opinion.
Yeah, but before you do, please make sure to take to stop dick riding Guardiola and then give us your opinion.
All right. Well, we've covered plenty today, and I think that's all for today.
Yeah, we'll see you in about 6 months.
6 months. Hopefully not.
No, yeah, maybe sooner. I don't know. 5 months. I don't know. But yeah, all right, guys, take it easy. Have a good one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Absolutely.